All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Ruchakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutation and much love to you, Akim, out there pushing out this word and truth and sincerity. And I just want to do a quick video concerning what's it called? This term here, continuity of government 2019 here. So COG, you look that up. COG, continuity, Salakia. My English not very good, but this term here, I was watching an old video from the apostles back probably in 2014. That's when it was uploaded, and the apostle actually spoke on this. And now, I started doing research on it a couple days ago, and then Spirit hopped on me again today to keep doing some digging. And here it is in 2019. They're revamping it, so to say, which this pretty much is in the event of some kind of disaster or terrorist attack. The government can continue to operate, all right, via the shadow government. And well, I'm gonna get into it. And the reason I'm going to do this is because they're planning some events here on May 1st, and then at the end of May, and it's going to run through I believe June 7th, where they're going to be putting this to the test. Continuity of government. That's what it is. A lot. Continuity of government. Okay, and so let's just read here. It says, this is on whitehouse.gov1.info. So this is a government website. This is not Wikipedia. All right, this is not, somebody's opinion about it. This is facts coming straight from the government website. All right, so let's read here. It says, background. Since the days of the Cold War, the United States has had a plan in place to continue the operation of the government. Following a catastrophic attack on the nation's capital, the 2007 National Security Presidential Directive 51 directs the geographic dispersion of leadership, staff, and infrastructure in order to maintain the function of the United States government in the event that the nation's capital is decapitated by a terrorist attack. All right, very deep. Okay, let me get to. Okay, hold on. Let me jump down. It says the shadow government. Following a catastrophic national emergency, the president or his successor can authorize the establishment of a temporary shadow government to maintain control of the essential functions of the federal government. President Bush activated the shadow government on September 11, 2001, shortly after the second attack on the World Trade Center. Every federal agency has designated key individuals to be part of an emergency relocation group. These ERGs are assigned to an alternate secure location on a rotating basis and are ready to take over the duty of supporting the national essential functions of this nation in an emergency. All right, so it's showing you here that they have plans, all right, in place in the event of a natural disaster or most specifically a terrorist attack. Okay. All right, and this is just the different levels of it, of how they disperse the president and his his successors, which would be the vice president. Okay, so here, let me which it goes into that here on later, the order of the succession if the president was to get put down. All right, so here you got national essential functions. The national continuity policy implementation plan identifies 8 national essential functions which represent the overarching responsibilities of the federal government during a crisis. Now, pay attention to these because this is going to lead into the lesson, really. All right, ensure the continued functioning of 3 separate branches of government. You got the legislation, the judicial, and what's the other one? Legislative, judicial, and I can't remember the third one, but nonetheless, it says provide leadership visible to the nation and the world, defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay, maintain and foster effective relations with foreign nations, protect against threats to the homeland, and bring perpetrators to justice. Now, the ones I want to hit on is the ones that says bring the perpetrators to justice and then defend the Constitution against the foreign and domestic enemies, right? So when they start doing this, all right, when they set up, when some terrorist attack happens and they put this in motion, all right, you best believe they're gonna they're gonna start persecuting us. Okay, it's in the books. It's part of the implementation plan of this the policy, the continuity of government. All right, part of that is coming to get those that the perpetrators, and they see us as perpetrators. All right, we're a hate group. All right, they call us a extremist. All right, so they have cause unrighteous, but in the eyes of these people, they have a cause to come and get us, just like they did in 2001. This is why they came to get the apostles, because of this plan was enacted, like we read earlier, that Bush, after the second tower went down, right here, that he enacted this. Okay, so and and what did they do? They went to pick up the apostles, because what, they were considered perpetrators, and they were domestic enemies, so to say, as we are considered today. All right, it says respond to and recover from domestic consequences of an attack, protect and stabilize the nation's economy, provide for critical national health, safety, and welfare needs of the United States. Okay, so this is just proof that, this is why they went to get the apostles, man. It wasn't because the apostles had nothing to do with the bombing, or the plane crashes, okay? It was because of this continuity of government consists of going to get those perpetrators, which we are looked, in the eyes of these people, we're looked as perpetrators, enemy of the state. Okay, because what, we're committing the worst crime possible, which is treason, because we're telling you that America is going to be destroyed because the Lord said it. We come out of the scriptures, we come out of the Bible and tell you and prove it, all right, that the Lord is going to utterly destroy this place from coast to coast. So we're looked as extremists, all right. So let's go on, and let me just get to the I say here's the presidential line of succession after the president died: vice president, speaker of the house, and so on and so on. Okay, brothers want to go through that, but let me just get to the it tells you how they evacuate, rough. Let me get to the news things that they're about to do. Okay. The new trial runs they're gonna do. All right. Here it is. Eagle Horizon. This is in 2019, May 1st to the 2nd. The Eagle Horizon exercise requires each federal executive branch department and agency to test their continuity of operations plan by deploying their emergency relocation groups to secret remote locations where they will perform their essential functions, ensuring the preservation of our government. All right, so now they're going to start testing these things. Look, it says Eagle Horizon uses scenarios such as hurricanes, improvised nuclear device detonations, earthquakes, and cyber attacks. Okay, so what are they preparing for? They're preparing for the nuclear device detonations, some kind of attack on the state. Okay, so this is happening in a couple days. Today's April 29th. This is going to be taking place May 1st through May 2nd. All right, so they're going to be testing this. I don't know how they're going to do it or what they're going to do, but they could surely take advantage of this and actually, because Esau always does drills so conveniently close to these attacks, okay? And they threw that in there, the improvised nuclear device detonations, okay? Pocket nuke or something. And then Shaken Fury 2019. This is going to take place in May 29th through June 7th. It says FEMA will conduct Shaken Fury 2019 along with U.S. Department of Energy, U.S. Northern Command, state and local governments in the private sector. Shaken Fury 2019 will run from May 29th through June 7th. The scenario involves a 7.7 magnitude earthquake along the southwest segment of the New Madrid seismic zone near Memphis, Tennessee. It will incorporate response and recovery missions. Okay, so that's just another one they're going to do concerning earthquakes, because they know things are gonna get worse. Esau knows what's happening, man. He knows that the earth itself is gonna get more violent. Mother Nature, as they say, earthquakes, hurricanes. Okay, and that's how they know that their time is coming to an end. All right, so let's get into these couple of scriptures just real quick. Well, actually, I'll start right here. 2nd Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, what are they about to do this test run for? An earthquake. All right, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake, because they know the earthquakes are getting more violent and more they're appearing more often, more frequent. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, so the elect is going to know that we're getting to the end of this thing from what's going on in the world. That's why you have to measure the times diligently. The prophecies, you have to watch the news. You have to know what's going on. And uproars of the people, that could lead to one of these attacks. As they said, these scenarios, so the cyber attack or nuclear device detonation. Okay, because when shit hits the fan, people go into uproars. Okay, people leading up to the shit hitting the fan, people are in uproars. Look what's going on in Paris, or actually throughout all of Europe. Okay, the yellow vest protest that's been going on for months now. Okay, so as 2 Corinthians says, all right, 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So the elect are gonna know, what's going on. We're not simple, all right, like the rest of this world. We see what's going on. We're not gonna fool us, all right. We see that you're doing these little test runs and you've been doing things all over the world to see how people react, and now you got these tests coming about, the continuity of government. Okay, we know what's going on. We know what you're practicing for. Okay, but we're not ignorant of your devices, meaning your plans, your plots, or your ideas, because ultimately the Lord showed us before you do it. The Lord, we're not gonna get caught with our pants down, so to say. We know what you're already doing. Esau ain't slick, man. Maybe to the 2/3 that are blinded, but unto us, you can't hide. We know why this is set up in place. They've already done it when 2011 happened, or 2001 happened, 9/11. All right. And they came to grab up the apostles. Well, guess what? Now they're about to do it again. And they're going to do the same thing. They're going to come and grab us up, just like they did before. That's part of what their function is set. The sexual functions of this is about. All right, getting the perpetrators, and we're looked at as domestic enemies, man. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to bring this out. Brothers, to look into this. All right. I know the apostles already know about this. That's where I learned it from. But yeah, continuity, whatever, man. COG. Just type in COG. Continuity. All right, continuity of government 2019. All right, so this is, like I said, this is on whitehouse.gov. I'll put the link in the description box. Lord's will, this is edifying. Shalom.